I am Mike the Fit Farmer, and we are growing greens all year. And for 52 weeks this year, the whole year, I'm going to be sharing with you all what I'm doing on a week-to-week basis to make growing greens all year happen. This week, the temperatures have been up and down, so we've been uncovering and covering back up, and uncovering once again our greens in our low tunnels and our caterpillar tunnels. But the past few days, and it looks like going forward, the temperatures are going to be pretty good, except for we have rain pretty much all week this week. So for the next few days, I am letting the rain just water our crops and let them get some of that natural nitrogen that just comes from the rain. And this also lets some air circulate and let them have some good quality airflow, especially through the caterpillar tunnels, because I don't want it to get too humid in there and start being an environment to promote disease. So we are working on that. And since there's a lot of rain coming up, I'm going to actually monitor to make sure it doesn't get rained on too much, especially the low tunnels. And then once I feel like they have the water and the moisture that they need, we're going to cover them back up. So that's the plan for this week. But other than that, there's some beds that I really would like to prep. But with things just being so wet and not fun to deal with outside, I'm not going to be doing that. I still walk through the garden. I don't spend a lot of time out there, but I still walk up the garden on a daily basis just to check and see how things are doing on a day-to-day basis. And I recommend that you all do the same. I know it can be uncomfortable to go out there unless you're dealing with just snow everywhere, but if you're growing things in caterpillar tunnels and low tunnels and greenhouses, which I recommend, because you can be growing things right now if you're not, even if you live up north and you have snow on the ground, there's still people who are growing a lot in low tunnels and caterpillar tunnels, and you can too. But it's really exciting at this time of year to see the growth rate begin to increase as these days start to get a little bit longer, and it's just so exciting to look out in the garden and see those things that I've transplanted just a couple weeks ago just beginning to grow and grow a little bit faster and grow a little bit faster. Right now, the spinach that I have, I really like the way it looks. It looks really neat. And one of you asked in a previous video, asked a question about my spacing for our greens. And for most of our greens, I will space them at 6 inches apart from center to center. We do bio-intensive gardening, so I really try to do what I can to maximize the smaller space and to grow as much as we can. So I recommend 6 to 8 inches on most things. Swiss chard and some of your bigger kales, I recommend spacing out a little bit more, somewhere around 10-12 inches apart. It really helps them to grow well. But speaking of questions, if any of you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below, and I will try to address those in each video, different comments as they arise, questions as they arise, so please let me know. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. One of my favorite tools that really helps with spacing as well as helps suppress unwanted plants, weeds from growing, is landscape fabric. I bought mine from DeWitt. This is the Sunbelt one, and I had to burn my own holes in it, but now Bootstrap Farmer actually has the landscape fabric with the holes burnt in it already for you, so you don't need to go burn the holes because they already have it made for you. So you can check out, I'll leave both of those links below, of the Bootstrap Farmer landscape fabric and the DeWitt one that you can actually burn your own holes. And it is a really important tool for me on my farm. You don't have to have it, but let me tell you, I've gone through farming with it, with the landscape fabric and without the landscape fabric. And farming with it, if you have a lot of weed pressure, or even if you just have somewhat of heavy weed pressure, it really helps. It really helps keep your harvest clean from not having just grass and other things grow up. Or if you have thorns, you don't want to have thorns in your salad mix. That'd be terrible, so no one wants to eat that. But I do have the project of my greenhouse going on right now. I'm finishing it up. I'm putting on the walls, the end walls, and the doors to go in and out of the greenhouse. So I hope to have that done here in the next day or two. So that is really important because our greenhouse is separate from our caterpillar tunnel and our low tunnels. And that greenhouse serves as an area to prep what we take from our grow room, which is a germination chamber, After they've germinated, things have started, we take them to the greenhouse, and that is an area that they get ready to go out into the main garden, whether it be in their caterpillar tunnel or in their low tunnel at this time of year. And it is really important to be able to have that staging area, because in the event, which happens, especially this time of year for most people, including us here in the South, there's still days where you hit frost, and you don't want your young starts to have frost hit them on the leaves, because that can kill them. I know, I've been there before. So that project's going on, but not much else is going on as far as in the garden. So when things kind of dry up a little bit, hopefully we have a dry day or two coming up, we can begin. We'll take the tarps off some of the beds that we have covered, keeping the water and rain off, so that way when it comes time and you're ready to work in there, you don't have to wait for it to dry out again. So you can just pull that tarp up, do what you need to do to prep the bed, and go ahead and put your seeds in there. And what we do is we'll go ahead and make them low tunnels or caterpillar tunnels, but for the most part we'll be doing low tunnels, because they're a very cost-effective way to do season extension is low tunnels. All you need is a wire and some plastic, and then bam, that will keep your plants protected for the most part from cold temperatures. Well, the only other thing we have going on is I really need to organize my seeds. We've been getting seeds coming in and out, so I want to create a seed library, and that's actually what I'm going to do today. And just so that way we can inventory our seeds and find what we need to do in a quick and easy way, and so that way you can just alphabetically go where you need to go to find your seeds. These seeds won't be seeds that we'll save for year after year. It's not a seed bank. I'm not doing that, because if you have a seed bank, ideally you want to keep your seeds really cold just to preserve them. So what we're doing, we're here in this room, we're just controlling the temperature. We're keeping them cool, especially during the summer months. So as you can see here, we have quite the disheveled seeds, whoops, everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up, organized, because that will really help with efficiency, being able to find what you need easier, and that just helps alleviate stress, which just helps with the overall feng shui and feel good of having things organized and where you need them. And if you send somebody else to go get them, they could easily find it too. So after we clean up, I'm going to go over with you some of the varieties of the greens that I like to use. So hang tight. Alrighty, this project has definitely taken a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So mainly what we did is we took the seeds out of the smaller drawers, and we had other just random stuff in these larger ones, but these larger ones were much more suited for having our seed library here. So what I did is I put dividers here, so that way we could separate our bulk seed, which I'll keep to the side here. Then we have seed packets here, and then we have some more bulk items here on the side. And I did that for each one. Up top we have our greens and our herbs. Here we have our root crops, and then here we have our summer crops, things that you harvest from picking. And I do want to share with you all my favorite varieties to grow this spring. For lettuce, I really like the red and green salad bowl lettuce. You can get those seeds from Eden Brothers. I also like Muir lettuce. It's a good roughly wavy lettuce. I also like Marvel of Four Seasons, and you can get that from Baker Creek. And we grew that last year, and we're growing it again this year, and I really like it. And Salanova is a lettuce that you can only get from Johnny Seeds, and one of the varieties that I personally like the most is the Sweet Crisp. It just really adds a little bit extra sweetness to your salad. I am experimenting this season with the Flashy Butter Gem from Baker Creek and a couple of red leaf lettuces, but I'll keep you updated on whether I recommend those for growing as a market garden item or not. But I'll let you know, keep you updated. I also like spinach to grow as a green, and I talked about that earlier, and we're growing the Galilee spinach, and I absolutely love it. It's been my favorite spinach so far that I have grown here on our farm. And one of the reasons why I like it, well, there's a couple. One is that it grows really quick. Even with me planting it here in these shorter days, it's been ready to harvest right now, and it's only been 35-40 days. So I really like it. Another good one is space spinach, and I believe Curtis Stone grows that one, but I highly recommend the Galilee spinach, and you can get that from Baker Creek. For Swiss chard, I like to use the Lucullus. I think that's how you pronounce it. Reason why it's very prolific. You can get a lot of cuttings from it. Some other ones you could do would be Bright Lights. I have personally noticed that some of the more vibrant color ones, when you get to the reds and the burgundies, they don't produce as much. At least it hasn't for me. So that's why I like to use the Lucullus. And for arugula, the main one that I use is Rocket. Really good producer, and it grows really quickly. I also like to use mustard greens as a part of our greens that we offer. We use Mizuna, which is a really quick one to grow. And we also use the Red Giant. It's a really purple burgundy type mustard green that is really spicy and can add a really good kick to a spicy salad mix. And we're also experimenting with tatsoi and bok choy. I'm not going to go into those too much because it's my first season growing them here on our farm. And we also have done beet greens as a way to, in our salad mix. It really helps add color, especially if you're not growing the more vibrant color Swiss chard. And for kale, we mostly do red Russian kale, but I've done other varieties in the past. But I have found the one that I really don't like is the dinosaur kale. I just personally don't care for it, and haven't had a big demand for it. There's a lot of seed companies out there, but there's only been a few that I really like. And Baker Creek is one. Eden Brothers is another one. I also, for microgreen seeds, I really like to buy seeds from Todd Seeds, and they sell the bulk items here. I still need to break this up and divide it a little bit so it will fit in here, but here we have our radish microgreen seeds, and here's a sample of one of their packages from Todd Seeds. And here we have the beet seed. It's a Detroit golden beet. So Todd Seeds is a great company that has great prices for microgreen seeds. I really recommend them, and I'll provide that information in the show notes below. Well, I'm going to keep finishing cleaning up here and organizing. I don't think I'll be getting around to making them in alphabetical order, but at least we have a better system now that if I send somebody in, I'll put a label here that you need to go to the greens and you need to go find Marvel of Four Seasons lettuce, and we need to sow that, so that way there's some organization here, and whoever's coming in can know where to go, and I can quickly and easily find it when I'm coming here. Well, that's it for this vlog. Let me know what you're doing to organize on your farm. Also, let me know what questions you have for us in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer those in upcoming videos. That's it for now. We'll see you next time. And I don't think I'll get to doing making them alphabetical type.